Gentlemen, thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of Forsaken Pride. I'm your host, Mike Austin, and as always, I am joined by Justin Toon, Vince Morrell, and today we have a special guest, man. Fitness guru, Prince of Transformations, Shawn Enrique has joined the Goose Gang today, man. Give it up for Shawn, man. Fuck yeah. Joining the gang today, bro. Today, I want to talk about the inevitable, man. My boy's getting married soon.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
September 10th.
I want to talk about how you got here. I want to talk about your plans afterwards, during, before. But first, man, congratulations, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. It's a blessing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm super excited, man, to take this next step in this next chapter of my life. So I don't know if you want me to give like a quick breakdown of where I started from and how I got here.
Yeah, let's pretend like nobody knows you. Who is Shawn Enrique?
So Shawn Enrique is a Puerto Rican and black boy, right? Never met his biological father. Much of my life carried a chip on my shoulder, thinking I was a mistake. And but I come from an awesome family though, right? I have a father, I have a mother. Yeah. My pops, Daniel Robinson, Lori Robinson. Those are my. I love them to death, man.
Shout out Pops, man. Shout out Big Dan, man.
Tried not to drop a tear in this junk, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
But I'm super blessed, man. I have two younger brothers. I have a younger sister, Isaiah, Justin, and Danielle. Shout out to you guys. I love you guys so much. But we come from a military family, man. My dad is a chief in the Air Force. He's an E9. For you guys that understand military talk, he's made it highest in the enlisted, right? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Enlisted ranks. And we've lived all over the world, man. I went to high school in Japan. I went to middle school in Germany, and was a 3-sport athlete. Always
basketball
been
superstar.
Ended up playing a little bit of basketball in Japan with some of the professional teams over there. And I tried to make it to D1, man. I tried to make it in D1 sports. I didn't make it quite. I had to go to a smaller D2 school in Maryland, called College of Southern Maryland. That gave me an opportunity. I tried out for the team, but what's crazy is that I think that was the first sign that God was telling me that basketball was not what He had for me in my life, and it really hit me to the core. Because up until this point, sports and everything was everything that I rooted myself in. It was the main foundation for my life, and that it was my identity was just through sports and being a popular kid at school. I was the president. I got straight A's in school. You name it, man. I if you wanted a model kid, I was that kid. Man. I was that kid, man. But I just went through some different things in life, man, and it was a point where I was working 3 jobs, man. I was begging for rides, asking you for rides, bro, and it leads me to the point to where I met you, man. So I got my first client when I was I decided to stop playing basketball because I wasn't getting any minutes. I wasn't playing much, man, and I don't suck at basketball, just for you guys knowing.
He's good. He's good.
But there's a lot of politics that go into college sports, and I can go on all day about that, but it was one of the greatest blessings was to have that no in my life, because up until this point it was I was pretty much doing anything and everything that I wanted in my life, and there was never really a point in my life where I felt what I'm saying, I couldn't. I feel like I had the Midas touch, I could literally do anything, right? And I think it's good to have that mindset of understand that you could do anything that you set your mind to, but also I think it's good to have L's in life, right? Lessons, not losses, but lessons, right? So I ended up not eating, bro. Since I wasn't getting no playtime, I was not eating. I got super skinny. I don't even know if I ever told you this, bro, but I was literally not eating, and I was losing so much weight, and I was already a super skinny kid. I wouldn't even take my shirt off when I was going to the beach, and you wouldn't know that now because I take my shirt off everywhere we go. Everywhere we go.
Any chance he gets.
Exactly. And so basically, to make a long story short, I ended up making a move. I met Gabriella, who's going to be my future wife, and we're getting married September 10th. And I made a move down to Virginia, and then I started going to school at George Mason University. This is where I met Mike, and he's going to be one of my groomsmen in my wedding. And man, I'm so blessed to have this guy in my life, man. And I try not to get emotional, man, because this dude has done a lot in my life. He doesn't even know. And he's a super special guy, man. And anybody that has been able to be in his environment, man, and just to be around him, I'm an emotional guy, so I probably will cry during this podcast, man. And it's just such a blessing to be on here. But man, bro, like I don't know, I'm gonna keep rambling, but man, it's been a long road, bro. I was working 3 fucking jobs, had no car. What else? You know my story, man. Like
we've come a long way,
bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And so I wanted to ask, because you mentioned you made that transition out of basketball. Was that hard for you?
Bro, it was super hard, bro. And I think that, so, man, I'm gonna try not to talk too much about God, bro, but like that's like my foundation, bro.
Speak your piece.
Yeah, man.
No, bro, Christ is king.
Yeah, Christ is all, bro, and I love that, bro. So, you know, with that being said, man, I think that I was selfishly identifying myself like through sports, and I wasn't living my life to serve others. I was living my life to serve my desires and my flesh. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that sin is just trusting your opinion over trusting what God has for your life, right?
Yeah.
And what God's will is, right, for your life, right? And it's to serve and to, you know what I'm saying? So
to be of service.
Bro, it was like the hardest thing for me, bro. I fight it now. Like, I'm doing this bodybuilding stuff. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm still a hooper. I can still hoop, just so y'all know. I just want to get that straight.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
But man, it was one of the hardest things, but I think it was one of the greatest things to ever happen to me is to, like, you don't understand, like, going from being the man and, like, man, and then everything just, like, crushed. Like, my ego, my pride, everything crushed, bro. But then it changes your perspective, bro. It just changes your perspective on life and understanding that life is not just about sports. Life is not just about, basketball.
Yeah.
And hopefully that answers your question.
Oh, yeah, no. And I was wondering, because I know a lot of times people get crushed after having to make that switch, because it's always tough, pivoting, like something that you dedicated a lot of time to, a lot of effort to.
I'm sorry.
And to find out that like dang, it's still not there, and then you, like you said, like you kind of get that tug, like I don't want to give it up, but I have to give it up.
Right, and I think that God talks to you in different types of ways, and you just have to listen, man. So, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say, like, especially when most of your life you were bred to be a basketball athlete. You know what I mean? Like, it was something that your whole family like identified you as.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your mom, your dad, your brothers. You know what I mean? Like, guys, people knew you as the hooper. People knew you as the guy to play basketball. You know
right.
What I mean? And so I assume, I don't want to reopen old wounds, but I assume it was especially hard having to give up something, for yourself that you believed in, but also just like, damn, like, okay, well, if I'm not going to do this that literally everybody knows me for, that everybody, like my family's bred me to be, what else can I do to make up for that in some kind of way? You know what I mean? Not like in a sense like you owe them, but say for instance, like, I don't know, say somebody is born and bred to be a singer, right? And they decide they don't want to sing anymore. Okay, well, what can I do that's equivalent that would make my parents or my family or my friends just as proud,
Right. And I think that kind of leads into, I think me being, look, I've been blessed, to become like a young father at a young age, man, and it's given me a different insight on, how I see things, man. So I think sometimes people do things out of approval, right? And I think that I'm super blessed and grateful. My pops always told me to be a leader and not be a follower. But at times I feel like I said in the beginning, is like, I feel like I've always had a chip on my shoulder. And I used to always tell people like, yo, I don't get straight A's because my parents make me get straight A's. I get straight A's because I want to get straight A's. I'm want to be the best athlete on this court, on this field, whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to be the best at it, bro. Like, what it is. Like, if we're
You've instilled that mindset into myself, actually.
Bro, yeah, if we bowling, I'm trying to whoop your ass.
I'm whooping ass, bro. Like,
I'm trying to whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, man. So, hopefully that kind of answers it too.
Because you, like I said, you instilled that mindset in me as well for, I think, 5-6 years we have known each other. And I was at first when I met you, I was like, "Oh, this nigga's super competitive. Bro. I'm fucking nervous, bro. Why the fuck is he so competitive? I'm playing Uno." You know what I mean? But especially when I got really, really serious into fitness, when I got really, really serious into combat sports, I was like, "I'm gonna do this." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this for play. I'm not doing this for fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this because I want to be the best at this sport, or at least the best version of myself at this sport.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially, I mean, you met Fat Mike.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You met Depressed Mike.
Yeah,
you know what
bro.
I mean? So especially when it came to losing weight, you know, it was like pulling teeth for a little while. You know, sometimes I'd be super diligent. Sometimes I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm taking my time." You know what I mean? But when I gradually started losing weight and I gradually started looking the way that I do now, especially at my leanest and my smallest at 178, coming from 256 pounds.
Yeah, bro.
To
I remember, bro.
178 for a short period of time. Like, my whole thing was just like, bro, like, I have to be, you know, I have to be the best weight loss coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to look the best. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's not even like an obsessive thing, but it was more so just like demanding more from myself, knowing that I could do more.
So getting to that point, how do you think, how did you set your why? Because I, like, you know, with my clients, I always, like, you know, when we're on that initial call, we try to, you know, figure out, like
why are you here?
Why? Like, why? Like, no, what is your why? Like, why do you want to make that lifestyle change? Why is it important for you to become a better version of yourself, you know? How did you get to that point?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to that point, I got low, you know what I mean? It came to a point where within 6 months, I was in the hospital about 4 or 5 times for chest pain. I was 24, like I was confused as fuck. I was like, why the fuck does my chest hurt? And my chest hurt so much that like I would be crying, like the pain was just unbearable, you know what I mean? And I never understood why. And then one day, my mom was in town, she came to visit, and I just started having these chest pains again. And I started to feel faint, I started to feel very weak, and I'm 24, like that's not supposed to fucking happen to me, you know? And so I checked myself into a hospital. Well, more so my mom drove me to the hospital, and we were checking in. As we were checking in, like the nurses like taking my name down, giving me the fucking wristband and everything like that, I literally felt my heart stop. And then my mom is on my left, and I'm like, Mom, and I'm just trying to grab onto something, and everything just went black.
Wow.
I woke up, all kinds of wires, EKGs.
Wow.
It was fucked up. You know what I mean? Doctor says I died for 37 seconds.
Wow, bro.
You know? And I asked why, what's going on, what's happening. He was like, you know, in a nutshell, you're overweight. You know? African guy, you know, them niggas don't give a fuck. they gonna tell you what it is. It was like, look, man, you're overweight.
Right.
You know? And he literally gave me 2 choices. I'll never forget this shit verbatim. He said, you will either lose weight or you will die. That's it.
So I got a question, like, cause this like discombobulates me, bro. Like, why do people have to wait for something crazy like that to happen?
That bad? Yeah. And even for myself, living in that, now looking at all of my other friends who are like overweight and not taking care of themselves and doing jack shit to be healthy, you know what I mean? Because to be healthy, we don't need to look like Shawn Enrique. To be healthy, we don't need to look like Mike Austin. But
Right.
goddamn, bro, do something. You know what I mean? But it sucks that it has to get that bad.
Right.
You know, and even for myself, living in that, I was like, damn, like, fuck, I guess there really is no choice now. And you know me, I was already in the gym. We were at Calisthenics Revolution getting shit
Every
popping.
day, bro.
Every day, you know what I mean?
Every
we both
day.
worked there, had jobs there. We had no choice but to work out. I was already working out, you know, but it still got bad, you know, and that night changed my life forever. You know what I mean? I look at pictures of myself, you know, on Instagram and stuff. I post like, oh, I went from skinny to fat to fit and everything like that. Every time I look at that fat picture, you know, I feel disgusted, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I feel like I can't believe that was me.
Never want to go back.
I never want to go back. I admire where that version of Mike Austin came from, but I will never be him again.
Right.
You know? And I feel like people, even though it sucks to get that deep into it, I feel like people need to go there.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to be in that dark place.
Right.
I had 2 choices. I was either going to lose 90 pounds or I was going to die at 24.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? Like, nah, bro. Like, that was not going to be me, bro. And then 2 years later, after I lost that 90 pounds, then I found out I had all these health issues because I was fat. You know what I mean? In shape. At one point, it was 6-pack abs and veins and all that shit back at 178. To find out that I was diabetic, and I'd been diabetic for a long time,
Right.
and I just didn't realize it. To find out that I had a heart murmur, and I had a heart murmur for a long time and didn't realize it.
Wow.
To find out that I had acid reflux disease, and I'm looking at myself. Literally, doctors at Kaiser Permanente were like, "Bro, I'm looking at you now. There is no verbatim. There is no reason why you have all these health problems.
Right.
There's no reason why you should." And a doctor literally asked me like, "Have you ever been overweight before?" And I was like, "Yeah. Like 3 years ago, I was overweight." She was like, "Oh, that makes sense." You know what I mean? And yeah, bro. It sucks that I had to get that deep, but I feel like for myself and for a lot of people, everybody has different stories and everything. But I feel like people need to be in that dark place.
Right.
So I wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
So to recombobulate you, I think, because if discombobulation exists, then combobulation must therefore exist.
Hey, there you go.
So anyway, to recombobulate, I think that people they don't want to do what's hard because, for instance, like if you take 3 rest days, you're not going to want to go back to the gym. Like after that second rest day, you're like, even though that's your obsession, your healthy obsession, and people don't want to take accountability.
Yep.
They don't want to look in the mirror and get real. Like I saw this video with Goggins, how
David Goggins.
yeah, he said he looked in the mirror and he just told himself how much of a disgusting coward he is for like 20 minutes. And then I literally went and I looked at myself in the mirror, like deep in a bulk. And I just laid into myself, just brutalized myself, just said everything that I needed to say. And he said, you only do that once because if you are working towards your goal, then there's no reason for you to be cruel to yourself. Because otherwise, if you're not doing anything about it, then you're just complaining.
Yeah.
And you're not doing anything.
Right.
Also, I wanted to say that Mike means everything to me as well, and he's done a lot for me. So I was getting a little emotional when you were talking about it, how much he means to me.
Yeah. That's my guy, bro.
Yeah, like I've been going through a lot, bro. Like I don't know if he wants me to talk about it, but my brother, he killed himself 2 weeks ago. He
I'm sorry to hear
overdosed.
that, bro.
But he's planning on doing it for a long time. So it basically been like a year of me just waiting for him to do it, and he didn't say goodbye. And then like a week and a half ago, someone decided to give my car a hug with their car at 60 miles an hour.
Man.
And destroyed my baby. And thankfully, yeah, it had 10,000 miles, and I just hit 10,000. And then thankfully, I'm somewhat impact resistant, so I just had like minor whiplash for a week. I felt sick and headaches and crick in my neck and all that. And then also what you're saying before, about serving your purpose for the Lord. Like a lot of the thoughts that we have aren't even our own thoughts. They're not organic. Mm-hmm. They could be your upbringing. They could be, like the dark forces of our world.
Circumstance.
It could just be, the enemy speaking to you and wanting you to fall. Because he doesn't really go after the people that aren't striving towards being a man of God.
Exactly.
The people that have God in their life. The people that are even really rock solid with the Lord, those are the people that he tries to make fall.
Exactly.
So like for me, I've had so many, like my last name's Morel, so I take more L's. I've had so many things in my life where I was like doing this and then shit fell apart and like I was like, man, I'm a fucking loser, like I hate myself. And the only thing that's ever made sense I'm really good at was combat sports and lifting weights. And I just love lifting weights, and I love helping people. I love fixing people up, helping them out, just being there for others.
Right.
Being a servant. Being a leader and being a servant go hand in hand.
Right.
Symbolically washing someone's feet.
Bro, yeah, that's exactly what Jesus did, bro.
Yeah, and
he was like, "Yo, why are you washing my feet?" Like, he's like, "What you mean?" Yeah, like this is what you do, and
it was symbolic of him cleansing the human race with his death when he sacrificed himself for us.
That's right.
But yeah, man, like whatever your purpose is, if you pray and you've found your purpose through the Lord, then you just keep moving forward. But at the same time, like people telling you who you're supposed to be, 100% wrong. You as an individual, find who you're supposed to be.
Right.
And then, you find your own purpose of serving others, serving the Lord. You can be selfish and serve yourself, because other people are just going to lead you astray. And other people, like there's a certain person in Mike's life that is the crab in the bucket, trying to pull him back down, that I keep warning him about, but he doesn't listen. Old Jeremiah. Jeremiah, yeah, man, you just got to always keep pressing forward no matter what, and just have faith in yourself and have faith in God, and who knows where you'll be 5 years from now, a year from now, 10 years from now.
I love it, man.
Yeah, so I had to channel all those because I didn't want to interrupt anybody.
No, that was good, bro.
Yeah, that was really good.
I appreciate it.
You shared earlier how Shawn impacted you, about how his competitive nature kind of lit a fire in you.
Yeah.
So Shawn gave you some flowers.
Oh yeah,
so now
he get his flowers. Yeah, he definitely get his flowers.
I guess I'm asking you, at what point did you acknowledge that Shawn was that kind of like that, light, and how did it impact you throughout that time?
It started to happen around the time when this is back at Gabby's mom's house when you guys were in the basement. And you were talking to me about how you teamed up with HTT and Brandon Carter. And I heard of Brandon Carter. I knew of him. I knew he was Austin's mentor for a little while. And I was just like, yo, what kind of service? What is it and everything like that? And then the more I started paying attention to your Instagram story, when you're talking about your online coaching and everything like that, I was like, oh shit, damn, that's cool. Because when I first met you, I think you had 3 jobs. I think you were something with soccer. You were doing
I was doing painting the lines on soccer field.
On the soccer field. And you had 2 other jobs too.
Yeah.
And then when I was the manager at Calisthenics Revolution, and Matt had ended up giving you a job, your main thing was I'm trying to coach. And to see that unfold, I think you and I went 4 months without talking to each other. Not anything bad or anything, but you had to handle what you had to handle. You know what I mean? And when I started seeing all that unfold, I was like, damn, Shawn kind of doing this thing right now. You know what I mean? And it fueled me in a sense of I can't let somebody show me up.
That's good though. That's good.
And it was that competitive nature. But I started to realize that you had an impact outside of social media. It was more so it was those days in Cali Rep where I was a fat kid. I didn't want to do that shit. The last thing I wanted to do was work out. And somebody came to the gym and disrespected me one day. But it was something that I needed to hear, because I could sit here and I could demonstrate how to do pull-ups, but it was shitty pull-ups because I wasn't strong enough to do pull-ups. I could demonstrate push-ups and squats and everything, but they were shitty because I wasn't strong and I was overweight. And the guy was like, I really do want to join this gym, and I appreciate, your knowledge of, exercise and calisthenics, but how can I take you seriously as a manager of a gym and you're overweight?
Yeah.
And you didn't say those words verbatim, but you kind of said a similar thing. Before Fat to Fit even fucking existed, I tried my hand at just making fitness-like videos because I saw you doing them, I saw Austin doing them, and you were like, yo, Mike, bro, I think this is cool and everything, but you don't really know what you're talking about because you don't live this life. That's what I thought. And so it was many moments of reminding myself or reliving instances where me and Shawn had real nigga discussions, and I just had to like you said,
R&Ds for those of you at home.
Yeah, R&Ds. And like you said, how David Goggins did when he looked at himself in the mirror and was like, yo, cut the shit. So a lot of those moments is when I kind of realized Shawn's impact on me, Will's impact on me, Austin's impact on me. Even when we were out in Connecticut for the Lost Breed episode, check that out. All 3 of you, I looked at all 3 of you and I was like, bro, I've looked at each and every single one of you for guidance in my fitness journey. I bought 10, 15 Lost Breed programs. I hopped on your training program. I hopped on Will's training program, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it was up to me to do all the work,
right.
And I had even told you privately, and I'll say it now publicly, I felt like shit when I first got on your program because I'm like, damn, Shawn spent all this time, making this 16-week program for me, and you know, out of the 5 days I'm supposed to be in the gym, I probably go once. You know, and I felt like I was disrespectful to you. I felt like it was a slap in the face of the hard work that you put in. You know what I mean? And then Will came to me and was like, "Yo, Mike, honestly, bro, you don't really want this shit, bro. You know what I mean? But you sitting here, you fat as fuck. You know, you got stretch marks and shit. You got man boobs, bro.
Can I add to that, bro?
You making all these fat decisions, but you still fat. But you don't really want this shit for real." And I felt disrespected. But then after about a week, I was like, you know what? Yeah. I was like, yeah. You know.
Boy got milkers.
But you said you had a question for?
Yeah, I wanted to add to that, man, because I just noticed how he keeps on pointing out his environment and how impactful the people that you surround yourself with. There's a saying that goes like, you know, like I can see the 5 people that you surround yourself around and tell you what your future is going to be, right? And I say that no company is better than bad company.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
But you really never don't have no company. You always, and if you're the foundation of your life is properly, you know, foundational, and I would say on the word of God, bro. Like if it's properly, you're never truly alone. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always go back and listen to that voice and listen to what God is telling you in your life. But back to what I was saying in regards to your environment, I think that, you know, it's important for not to have a whole bunch of yes men around you that are like agreeing with everything. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm brutal, bro.
People, you know, and I think sometimes when I have a level of comfortability with someone, I can get to that point. But I think I should be a little bit more blunt with people that I love and I care about, because people sometimes, I guess I'm noticing just from you talking that you need to hear. Sometimes you need to hear that, and I think that. And you touched on leadership is to have emotional intelligence and understanding how to approach people differently, right? So I might have to be a little bit more blunt with you. I might have to be a little bit softer with Justin, you know. And it's just having the understanding of leadership, you know. So that's all I really wanted to add to that. How important your environment is.
Because me personally, like, your environment is very important, but also when it comes to men, speaking to men, I don't believe in softness. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want somebody to be soft with me. I wouldn't be soft with my younger brother. I wouldn't be soft with Vince, you, or Justin. You know what I mean? Not necessarily like hurting your feelings in a sense, like you ain't shit.
You know, feelings should be hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you gotta break shit down, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody in this group, matter of fact, say for instance we're all overweight, right? Say all of us are. Say we're all overweight, right?
Someone's playing a tuba.
Say no, for real. Somebody eat way too many eggs and mayonnaise sandwiches and shit.
Can you imagine?
Just straight carbs, straight animal fat.
There's no carbs in there, but there's a lot of farts. That's
Yeah.
But you know, say all of us are overweight,
Right.
morbidly obese.
Right.
Somebody out of the 4 of us gotta be the guy.
Yeah.
To be like, yo, like, we gotta get our shit together.
It's like the high
and
school
if not
kids.
we, then me, bro. And when I do that shit, y'all gonna see that shit and be like, yo, I should probably get in the gym, bro. You know what I mean? Like, no, real shit.
Yeah.
Like, Austin used to be skinny as fuck. You know what I mean? This nigga was 106 pounds as a grown man. You know what I mean? And then one day he got tired of the shit and started putting on weight. I was fat as fuck. One day I got tired of my own shit, bro. I got tired of going to Chick-fil-A every fucking day. I got tired of Burger King. I got tired of making food for YouTube videos. Trying to be like Dane Drops and shit. You know what I mean? I got tired of that shit. I got tired of going to the hospital.
You're making food? You fat bitch? Fat bitch? I was trying to say bastard and bitch at the same time.
No, I was dead ass making food review videos, bro.
That's crazy.
It's fucking... not smart. I was gonna say something else.
Waste of flesh.
But also, it's just like, I got tired of my own shit. You know, I got tired of going to the fucking hospital all the time. You know what I mean? Bro, you should have seen my medical bills, bro. Dead ass, I'm still paying for that shit, bro. Every other weekend, bro, I had to call 911 on myself. I'm in the house by myself because my chest, like imagine having the worst cramp of your life in your chest, bro. That was me every other weekend, bro. Yeah. And at the time I didn't know why, you know. Like that ass, bro. It came to a point where the same 3 fucking EMTs would come knocking on our door, bro.
Wow.
Oh, like they knew you, but
they knew me. They even put me on a list to be like, hey, he might be blocking.
All right, so we had to take a quick break. So switching gears a little, you mentioned that you're not a bodybuilder, but you're in a competition.
Yes, sir.
Currently, and I remember I saw on your feed that you mentioned like a legacy thing about you and your dad.
Yes, sir.
Your dad competed and now you're competing. So like, talk to the people. Or talk to us a little bit about like what that means to like be competing with your dad.
Yeah, man. It's a super special moment for me, man, to be able to step on that stage with my dad. And my dad never he never competed. This would be his very first show as well. But more so when I was speaking of legacy, you know, I don't know if I want to go there, but we'll go ahead and it's just a super special moment, man. Like my dad is like, he's like the most special like man in my life, bro. Like I would not be where I'm at. I wouldn't have been in, you know, I've literally traveled the entire world, bro. Like I've had never needed for a thing in my life. I had the greatest like dad that you could ever think of, bro. Like, man, I'm just super grateful, man. And he's the one that has pushed me, like, just to see his ambition. There's a new song that came out by Jack Harlow, and it talks about how it's like I have my mother's features, but I got my pop's demeanor. And my dad's ambition, bro, is like nobody, it's not matched, bro. Like he has the most grind, confidence, swag about himself, bro. Like, you know, and I aspire to just be just 1% like that dude, bro. Like my dad is like my superhero, bro. So it's super special to me.
Would you say that you would want to strive to be like him when it's your, I mean, you're already a father now.
Yeah, man.
Nephew Carter, shout out Carter.
Yeah, shout out C Money, shout out Carter, man. So
C Bands.
100%. I wanna. I think what I took as a kid was because I had awesome fathers in my lives. Like my grandfather, my father, my mother's father, and I got to see great examples of what it is to be a father, right? But I've also been able to see points where maybe they could have improved, right? And it's not to say that makes you bad, because there's no one in this world that's perfect. But if I could be a little bit 1% better for Carter, and then Carter can take the things that he likes, discard the things that I did wrong, and improve on that, you know, that's a win in my book, man. And I want to be 100% present in his life, just like my dad was. He's 100% present. There's never a moment where he wasn't there for me. Like, there's never a moment where I put my chin down, he didn't pick my chin right back up and told me that, man, like that right there makes me want to cry right there, man, because like I am who I am because of Daniel Robinson, man. Like I grew up with a chip on my shoulder, bro, like thinking I was a mistake, bro. And I've never kind of really verbalized that, but it's yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll just say, man, yeah, I'm just trying to go ahead, you guys go ahead.
Shout out Big Dan, shout out Pops,
love you, Dad.
Everybody's getting married, it seems like.
Here we go.
Sean getting married. Justin getting married next week.
Yeah, next week.
This time next week, he's going to be a married man.
Yes, sir. How you feel about that, bro?
Well, technically tomorrow, because we had to get our marriage license. So
you'll officially be married
technically tomorrow we legally, but yeah, no, I mean it feels great. Like there was definitely moments where I wasn't sure if I wanted to, just off of like, you know, you have experiences, you wonder like, man, you see a lot of like failed marriages and a lot of failed things. You wonder like, I don't know if I'm gonna go through that, because you know sometimes people they split apart and it's clean, and then sometimes they split apart and it's messy, and then it's like all that. But nah, man, I feel great. You know, me and Cam, we've been together for going on 6 years, so we'd be getting married like a few days after our 6-year anniversary. And yeah, man, it's great, man. It's you know, I'm really starting to see. I used to always hear people talk about how much of a blessing it is to be married, and like the fruit that you can like develop while being married. And I'm really starting to see all that, because it creates like a strong foundation. Like it creates like a base. Because I know with me and Kim, like we're not together just because we love each other. It's like we better each other. Like we constantly strive to do better. So it's like, it's not just because we had to go through premarital counseling, and when she asked, neither one of us, that for our first answer wasn't, oh, I love this person so much. It was, no, this person helps me grow. This person challenges me. This person is like legit. Like if I was feeling bummy about something, they told me, nah, get off your ass and go ahead and get that shit done. It's like that. So yeah, like it's pretty awesome.
I definitely agree with that, bro. And so I met my future wife, fiance now, Gabriella Elizabeth Santos, soon to be Gabrielle Elizabeth Robinson. Man, she's like, bro, I am so lucky, man. I got like the greatest woman in the world, man. It's like she gets her own, man. I don't have to push her to do things. Like she does her own thing, man. She's like, she's a CEO. She's a great mother, man. And I think, I don't want to like act like I'm a freaking expert on or guru on relationships. I'm only 25 years old, and trust me, I get all the time. Everybody's like, "Bro, you 25? Bro, you sure, bro? Like, you definitely, you could probably get some other girls, you know." Mm-hmm. But I always pride myself in just being different, bro. I know I can do that, and I know she could do it too, right? But I pride myself in being different, and I want to be the greatest dad. I want to be the greatest husband. I want to be the greatest brother. I want to be the greatest friend that I can be in every single aspect of my life. And like how I do one thing is how I do everything. I don't cheat on my diets, so I don't cheat on my girl. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like how I do one thing is how I do everything. And I base everything off of how. So the golden rule is like, treat people the way that you would want to be treated. Yeah. And I kind of want you guys to expound on this too, because this is a conversation that, a lot of guys have. And I think it leads into some of the other topics that we wanted to talk about. But
right, yeah. For me, I treat people the way that they treat me. If you treat me with respect, I will treat you with respect. I don't approach people I've never met before disrespectfully. I'm always respectful. I'm not gonna like, oh, you Mike Austin? Fuck you. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? But the second that switches,
right.
But I love me some Gabby, man. You know,
sir, me too, bro. Yeah, I'm lucky, man.
My dog, man. That's the homie, man. And I love her for you.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, it's a relationship, bro. There's trials and tribulations, there's ups and downs, and there have been times where you fell short. There have been times where she's fell short.
Bro, I met her with.
I've always seen you guys come right back, and it's never for long, and it's never really for anything crazy. You know what I mean? If anything, it's intense fellowship. You know what I mean? If anything, it's a slight disagreement. You know what I mean? And I admire that about your relationship. I also admire you stepping up to the plate of fatherhood.
Thank you,
man. I mean, because I know myself, being raised as a man who was not my biological father, knowing my biological father, but not having really any real relationship with him until much later in my adult life. I admire the fact that you were able to step to the plate, and take that role that Carter needs, and at the time that he needed, and also what Gabby needed too. I will always respect and admire you for that, among other reasons, because personally, I don't think that that's something I can do, I thought about it. I tried it.
I think I come from that same dynamic.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. Yeah, but I admire men like you.
Thank you, bro.
Who can step in and raise these boys, bro. Boys need fathers in whatever aspect that they come.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. And like I think definitely I can understand like your like when you're saying like this is something that you couldn't do, because for real, I ain't gonna lie, when I first met Gabby, I wasn't even trying to.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I was just trying to give me a little milk, man. Hold up, man. If we keep it at $1, man.
I'm not trying to buy the cow or the calf. You out here rescuing, man. Bro. Search and rescue, bro.
But that's how God works, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how God works, and it's the same exact dynamic, man. And I just want to do the best that I can.
Yeah.
and just just try to be better, man, and everything I can.
He'll grow up and he'll see that, and hopefully in many aspects of his life it'll mold him, to be a better man. You showing him the fundamentals of what it is to be a man. Sometimes you just got to take care of shit. Sometimes you got to put shit on your back and you got to make something happen. You know what I mean? And you've grown to love him as your own son. You know what I mean? You've grown to support him as if he's your own. And I'm sure that if not now, that there is a day where he'll come to appreciate that. Just like you appreciate your dad.
Right.
Go ahead.
Do you plan on having your own son or your own biological child?
Yes, sir. 100%, bro.
Nice.
Definitely,
make as many as you can, bro.
Got some big, yeah, bro.
Make as many as
you can. Make a whole sporting team.
Yeah, try, bro. Yeah, football team, bro.
50, not yet, but very, very soon, man. That's definitely like something that I gotta like super important on my priority list is to bring life into this world, man.
You know where I stand, man. Enjoy married life for a little while.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you said, you've been all around the world and everything, and that's amazing, bro. But you haven't been around the world with your wife. You know what I mean? You haven't been around the world with your new son. You know what I mean? So I would experience, marriage. Even though you guys have already accomplished so much and done so much and seen so much, I still think that you guys. I can't make you do it. But if I were in your position, I would take that time.
How many kids like your ideal number, like including Carter, like your ideal number, how many?
Well, honestly, I haven't thought that far, bro. In terms of like how many kids, I know I want to have kids, and I'm not
just gonna focus on one.
Yeah.
Just back to back.
Yeah, I'm not.
Some people want a whole tribe.
Well, I'm not opposed to having like a lot of kids, but my bread has to match that too as well, man. And I'm still in a grinding phase, in terms of like my business, and that's another thing that I really am super grateful for with Gabby is that she met me when I had nothing, man. I didn't have a car, bro. I didn't have like probably $1,000 to my name, bro. And she saw the potential in me, and she still rock with me, and she was doing her own thing. She was holding herself down, like, what I'm saying, like she wasn't there because I could give her something. She was there because she actually truly loved me. Yeah. She saw the potential in me, and here I am now. And I've arrived, and I've only fully. I haven't even touched my full potential yet, bro. Like I'm still feel like I'm like in the what's that first part of a book? Like before you even get to chapter 1. I'm in prologue. Yeah. I'm in the prologue right now, bro.
Women like Abby are rare, bro. You know what I mean? Women like that. Like, let's take the name out of it. Let's take the face out of it. Let's just make a blank woman with a silhouette.
Yeah.
Women like that are so rare to build with a man. You know what I mean? To accept a man for who he is and his adolescence, where he doesn't have a shit ton of money, where he doesn't have nice fancy cars, when he doesn't have this big ass house. You know what I mean? So many women nowadays are like, well, you go ahead and build your empire. You go ahead and build Shawn Enrique Fitness. I'm a pull up when you got all the benefits. Right. You know what I mean?
One's bodybuilding, one's building bodies.
Yo, this is hilarious, bro. But that leads me into this is a conversation that Gabby and I had because I think as a woman that is getting it on her own and someone that has been doing it on their own for so long, especially women that come from our culture, right? They can be very masculine, I could say, right?
Abrasive.
And abrasive, right? And you have to understand because they've had it's been so long that they've been doing it independent, right? That they don't understand the concept of interdependence, right? When you get into that relationship, right? And that's where I was talking about emotional intelligence and understanding how to approach different situations, how to break it down to your woman to where she understands that, look, we're all in the same team. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm on my car, you're in your car, but we're going to the same exact destination. Like, you the point guard, I'm the shooting guard. I'm gonna get my buckets, you get your assist. Let's work together to win this championship. We have the same exact goal in mind, right? And it's all about interdependency and not one can't be dependent on the other. without being independent in your own fashion, right? Does that make sense, like what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that because I know even within my relationship, that's one thing that we highlight. Like we highlight our independence, where it's like, yeah, we're coming together to be one, but that doesn't mean that individual like dissolves and then you become a half. Because I know, like, you know, people always say like, oh yeah, I found my other half, blah blah blah. It's like, no, like we two whole people deciding to do life together.
Right.
I know what kind of gave me that green light to be like, all right, this is the right thing, was I remember growing up, you know, I grew up in a church, and one thing that they always told us is like, when you're looking for a partner, a lot of times like you'll be running a race, doing whatever you're doing, and you'll just kind of look over and they'll be right there running a different race, and you just so happen to cross paths and you're like, oh, you running the same race I'm running.
Bet.
Let's run together.
Let's run it.
And you know, it sounds like you had a similar situation where, you know, you were on your path to find what you needed to do.
Right.
Gabby was running a path to find what she needed to do. And then y'all kind of.
So I will say, bro, I was doing my thing, bro. Like I was doing my thing before Gabby. Like I was like doing my thing, and I was not trying to get in a relationship at the moment. I swear on everything, I was not trying to get in a relationship. But I think that that's how God works, bro. Like, I think that if I didn't meet Gabby, I'd be too focused on the wrong things, man. And I feel like there's a song by J. Cole. I said this on our last pod.
You did say
Love Yours.
Huh?
Love Yours?
No.
Nah, not Love Yours, but it's I can't remember the exact song. I had it last time, remember?
The quote though, yeah.
But the quote was basically like, if you put all the energy that you put into chasing ass into getting some cash, you'll be famous and rich by now, right?
Yeah, you good.
And you know, I think at that moment in time in my life, my priorities were, it was just basketball and booty. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just basketball.
Something dribbling.
Yeah. So and then I met Gabby, and then I started building, man. I just saw so much in her, man, that it just motivated me and pushed me and inspired me to grow in myself. And I'm just blessed to have her, bro. Like, she's like one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, man. And I'm excited to continue to grow with her, because we have, as a couple, have not even touched, you know, not even close, bro. Like,
so what's one thing you feel like what's one way you feel like you've grown from like the start of your relationship till now where you're about to enter into marriage? Like, what's one thing you feel like you've learned throughout this process?
I would say, that's a great question, bro.
I be thinking the same. Like, I'm going through it too, so I be thinking.
So let me see. Let me hear what you got to say, and then I'll piggyback off of that.
One thing that I learned, I would say, the first word that comes to mind is consistency, because this was my longest relationship like ever. Like, I used to write a lot thinking that like, oh yeah, I wanted this long relationship, whatever. Then you realize how ghetto the shit is sometimes, and you're like, maybe I'll be single for a minute, whatever. But then, you know, with her, it was just like, I realized, like, as we continued to grow, like every year I would look at like, all right, what did I do well, what I need to improve on, whatever. And then I realized that within that department, we always grew. And so it was that, you know, because you with somebody for a long time, you tend to get, I know I felt like that fatigue, like that relationship fatigue, where you're like, you wonder if like things are still the same, or if things are growing, whatever. And yeah, for me, it was like that long-term patience, where it's just like, we got to do this every day. And then especially, it really kicked out when we moved in together. Ain't no hiding. Like, whatever good habit, bad habit, ain't no hiding. Like, it's all on Front Street. So
right.
So yeah, I would say it taught me, like, I was already patient before, but I'm like hella patient now, because similar to what you said before, like, in a relationship, you don't want to approach things how you always naturally approach things, because you're dealing with someone you care about, and you don't want to have that moment where you're just naturally reacting because you felt that way, and then you have to look at the damage you caused, and you're like, man, if I would have took an extra 30 seconds to think about the shit I just said, I probably wouldn't have hurt this person the way I did. So.
Yeah, but me and Gabby talk about that all the time, is learning how to, because she's she's a very feisty little one, you know what I'm saying? They say get you a little Spanish joint, and get you a Latina, and you gonna see when she get mad what the deal is. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is it's important for you to respond and not to react. Yeah. And I think one way that I've kind of grown in my relationship is understanding how to set boundaries with people. And I think that's something that Gabby has taught me, because I feel like a lot of times what I try to do is and Mike and I can attest to this, is that a lot of times I try to pour into people. When anytime we have somebody that's around us, like, I'm always trying to pour into other people. I'm trying to listen to what they're, you know, if something's going on with them, like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, or trying to figure out how I can put the weight on my shoulders to help them. Or, you know, with family members, like, taking on their stress and taking on things that are kind of going on in their life, and then I'm super empathetic, so then it stresses me out. And she's teaching me how to set boundaries with people and how to set healthy boundaries, right? Boundaries are healthy. Doesn't mean that I don't love you and I don't care about you, but I'm in a point in my life right now where I am building, and if I don't pour into myself, I will not have any more left to pour into you anymore, right?
Even I've said that to you. So
yeah, man, and it's something that I'm still learning and growing and you know, getting better at, because I love so hard, and you know what I'm saying, it's like a lot of things going on, man, in my family, man, and you want to be there. And I think that's like a oldest child syndrome, is like you feel like you got to carry everything. Like when we were younger, like my dad used to always tell me, he's like, you're the oldest, so if they get in trouble, you get in trouble, right? Like if they, like, as if they did something, it's because you weren't there watching them. They learned it from you, or you didn't tell Isaiah not to touch that plug socket, and now he electrocuted his finger, even though Isaiah is gonna do it if I told him not to do it, right?
Whether you say something or not.
All right, but you know, I just learned how to set boundaries, man, and I'm just growing in life, man. And Vince, you about to get married too, bro. So like, what's something that you kind of feel like you've grown in your relationship with? That's a tough question.
Yeah, I'd say emotional maturity, because I went from, you know, doing my own thing forever and not trusting women, to just finally being able to have rock solid trust. Just her, like, I could never doubt her loyalty. You know, she just, like Justin was saying, she's one of those women that if I'm not being the man that I'm supposed to be, or if I'm falling short, then she's just gonna pick me right back up and, you know, remind me, like, you know, it's time for you to be better. You know, you're better than this. You gotta pick yourself up.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way for her. Like when she's lacking, or if she's going through hard times, then we just support each other. But I can always count on her, and she can always count on me, because I just remember being really broken, and I found her, or we found each other, and it was really, really quick that we just fell for each other. And I immediately knew, like, oh, this is one of the.
I'm excited to meet her, bro.
One of the good ones. One of the good ones. One of the great ones.
Yeah.
And just like how she always respected herself, like her purity and her loyalty and family oriented.
A lot of women in this day and age are lacking that self-respect, lacking values, morals, and carrying themselves in a way that is presentable, in a way that is astute. And it's unfortunate, you know, especially in your prime years, you know, when you're banging every Tim, Tom, and John with a 10-mile radius, and expecting to find men like you all, expecting to find marriage, expecting to be put on a pedestal and not deserving, you know, having these unrealistic, crazy ass standards, you know. For the second, men, like all four of us, have those standards because we all have great women. We expect, you know, say for instance, we all have those great women and we, you know, I don't know.
Talk to the people about Wendy. Talk to the people about Wendy. Talk to them.
I'm about to say, bro. I'm about to say, yo, you better shout out Wendy Wu, man.
Shout out Wendy, bro.
Wendy Woo.
Yo, shout out Wendy Wu.
Funny as hell, bro.
Talk to him, bro.
But let me stand up.
Talk to us about your relationship,
Put
bro.
some respect on her name.
Put some respect on your relationship, bro.
Respect on Winnie Wayne.
Talk to him about Wendy, bro.
You know,
let's hear it.
But you know, like having, you know, a good woman, you know, it's so mind altering to see the way that women act nowadays. Like I have little cousins and a brother, you know what I mean? And like when I see them dating girls, I'm like, bro, like, why don't you get a girl like Wendy? Why don't you get a girl like Gabby? Why don't you get a girl like Cameron or Ine? You know what I mean? Like somebody who fucking respects himself. You know what I mean? Somebody with some fucking decorum and shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, I got lucky because she joined she's in the Navy as well. She joined to get citizenship. She was originally from Central Africa, African Christian girl.
Passport, bro.
Oh wow.
So you know, I avoided the whole, you know, the West is fallen bullshit. You know, and got me a good girl.
Got you a good woman, bro.
I feel you, man.
And it's a NA.
So you gonna have a baby that look like me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a whole team of light skins, bro.
You're gonna have that one that gets your complexion.
Oh, my favorite. You know, the black woman can create any hue.
Yeah, I'm saying, black comes in all colors.
But I love the albino. Just don't let him outside.
But to that point, I think a lot of times, like I feel like as men, we need to just make sure that we're not just accepting anything that comes, where it's like focus on your shit, like do what you need to do. And then that's like I'm a believer, because like when me and Cam, we were friends years before we ever got together and everything, and we saw each other in almost every element before. So when we got together, it almost felt natural. It was almost like I don't need to go in being like, oh, I don't trust you, I don't whatever. And I didn't want to like take any past trauma that I've dealt with like other women with her, because I'm like, you don't deserve that. Like you don't deserve to get all the, oh well, this woman cheated, this woman did this, whatever. But I think it's like if men tend to focus more on like, look, I'm doing my shit. If you're not in this realm doing your shit, have a nice day. Like
Bro,
I don't
like,
even.
the women will come, bro. Like fuck these little ass girls nowadays, bro. Honestly, do the work, make some fucking money, better yourself, improve your circumstances. The women will flock.
Yeah, before you send that DM, check that link tree for an OF account.
No, for real, bro. Because honestly, bro, like there have been so many instances when I've had conversations with my younger cousins, like, yo, Mike, like I'm talking to this girl, like, what do I do, and this and this and this. And when we get down to the nitty gritty of the conversation, it's always, oh yeah, she entertains like 20 fucking people. Oh yeah, she's an OnlyFans chick. Oh yeah, every single time I go to the gym, she's talking to like 15 fucking dudes, bro. Easily accessible to male attention, sucking up all the male attention, allowing all the validation. And then the second where he's like, look, like I'm cool to fuck, I'm cool to smash, you know. But then it comes down to like, oh, well, I want to be your girlfriend, I want a relationship. Shorty, I can't take you serious, shorty. You put one chick in a room of 40 niggas, and every nigga in this room didn't hit this one little bitch, cuz. And you want to be my wife? You want me to spend money on a ring? Absolutely the fuck not, bro. Like,
cool to be a dirty Dick Daniel, but not a corny cuck Carson.
what?
I was gonna go with Carlisle, but I changed it.
Hey, I just gotta come up with this stuff.
Corny cuck Carlisle, TM, you heard it here first.
Carlisle would be fucking hilarious, bro. Oh my god. But not on some real shit though, because it's like, again, when it comes to women's standards as well, you know, these young chick standards, at least that I've been seeing on like, experience, like, you know, from my cousins and like on TikTok and shit like that. Like, a lot of these young chicks are like, oh, I need you to make $200,000 a year. I need you to have 2 cars. I need you to have 5 houses. I need all this extra crazy shit. I need you to have 6-pack abs and shit like that.
Why need 5 houses? More room to cheat on me?
I guess like more room to fucking cheat on me and shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, I feel like at that point, if somebody's already giving you that, leave.
but that's no. I understand that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's like the standard. Like women have that standard, right? But the second I'm like, okay, I hear you, understand. I don't like fat bitches. Oh, I'm a misogynist. I'm causing problems. I'm raising hell. Like, what the fuck? Like, you got all these unrealistic expectations of what I should have.
1,000 pardons, my lady.
of what I should have. And the second I'm like, hey, you could stand to lose another 5-10 pounds.
I think I told you in the car, you don't even have to say that. You could just say, you know, I'm personally not attracted to larger women. Gasp!
Like, bro, like, come on, son. Like, you
How dare you?
Bro, you asking a 19-year-old to have $250,000 yearly? You asking a 19-year-old to have some big fucking palace of a house?
But you asking you ask a 19-year-old in 2023 not to have 300 bodies?
It's a problem.
And bitch got the check. She's had the check engine light on the last 3 years for many moons. I can't do it, shorty.
For many moons.
Many lunar cycles. Many dynasty.
It's crazy because it's just standards. You know what I mean? I literally got called a misogynist today because somebody, I did like an ask me a question on my Instagram, and somebody was like, oh, what's your hot take? And I was like, bro, like I really don't like when girls have over 30 to 40 bodies. I think that's crazy. I think that's wild as shit. 2,000 people saw that story, and this one chick was in my DMs sending me essays, bro.
I gotta tell you something after this.
Basically saying, I don't get no ass. Like, oh, if you just lame, just say that. You know what I mean? Oh, if you got your heart broken and you don't trust women and you need to cry to your mommy, like, it's like, bro, I just have standards. Like, there's nothing wrong with me having standards. Why the fuck? That don't make sense. But the second I'm like, oh, would you fuck a dude with 30, 40 bodies? Oh, well, no. How am I that guy? The fuck? You wouldn't do the shit neither. Like, you know, so it's just weird as fuck to me, bro. So I'm glad that all 4 of us have women that are not like that. You know, we're one of the lucky few. You know, but also I wouldn't even say luck because it also comes with vetting women as well.
Yeah, because I was like, I think everyone can agree that it was a choice.
It was a choice.
Yeah, like everyone chose.
Yeah.
Because again, like, I'm not sure how long you and Gabby have been together.
7 years.
Yeah, like, you learn a lot of shit. And
you learn a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So I want to add something too, man. So what I think is very important in relationships, and it's kind of a little bit off of what you guys were talking about, but I want to get it before we go too deep into a different subject. It is, you know, a lot of times people present their best in the beginning of a relationship, and
they don't uphold it.
Right, and they don't uphold it, right? And you know, I think it's very important to not only give your. So there's a parable in the story in the Bible where Jesus turns water into wine, right? You guys are familiar? And you know, so it's like they gave him the good stuff in the beginning of the wedding, right? And then at the end of the wedding, they try to give him the little cheap stuff because they was like, oh, he tipsy, he ain't gonna notice, he ain't gonna realize it, he ain't gonna notice, right? And I think it's important for us to, like you said, you know, just uphold and to also vet the type of person and making sure that they're matching your work ethic, your mindset, your motivation, your ambition, right? And not just getting with someone that, again, is dependent on what you do, right? They have to be interdependent and be getting it on their own, like, yeah. So
my younger cousin, you know, he's 22, graduates college on the 20th of this month. Nigga look just like me, so he a handsome nigga, you know what I mean? And he was talking to me about this girl. And he was fucking. He was talking.
No, I told me that. I was like, he's the handsome version of you.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The handsome version of me, and I'm already handsome. Nigga, fuck you, nigga. But yeah, so like, he was talking to me about this girl that he's been dealing with for a while, and he's like, yo, I think I want to make her my girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a girlfriend. You know what I mean? But I think that you might be hopping in this relationship pretty fast. You know, you guys asked me to talk briefly about my relationship. It took me a solid year to even consider being a boyfriend. You know what I mean? I wasn't just about to jump in. Go ahead.
right, how do you know when someone is the one?
I don't know about the one, but I know, like, what made me want to be like, hey, do you want to be like exclusive?
So what was that?
For me, in the very beginning, I mean, even still now, you know, it was the support system. I didn't need a yes woman, you know what I mean? I didn't need, you know, oh yeah, Mike, you're so awesome, you're so great, you know what I mean? But there were times when I was down financially, you know what I mean? Like really bad, like negative $600. I have a screenshot of that ass in my bank account. And there were times where, you know, obviously she didn't have the financial means to help me out of that rut either, but it was also not judging me. It was not belittling me. It was like, okay, well, I don't really know about like, you know, how to make money, but you know, like, if you're like, I'm here for you, you know what I mean? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna mess around with this other guy because he's got this and you don't have that. Like, I'm here with you, you know what I mean? Struggling in that condo in Temple Hills with no fucking heat, you know what I mean? Just using each other to keep each other warm type of nights, you know what I mean? She would have $20 and be like, damn, we're both hungry. Let's figure out a way that we can, you know, get some food with this $20 and still have a little money left over, you know, in case we need to get gas, put gas in the car or some shit like that.
Shout out Wendy Woo.
Yeah, shout out Wendy Woo. Yeah. Keep saying Wendy Woo.
That's an inside. That's an inside. That's an inside.
Wendy Woo, Homecoming Warrior, Disney Channel. But yeah, man, there were times where, you know what I mean, like shit was rough, it was bad, you know what I mean, and I didn't know a way out. And, you know, she's not, she doesn't have like, you know, the entrepreneur brain, you know what I mean? So it's in a sense of like, I don't really know how to make money outside of having a job, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh yeah, you could get a job, but I already had a job. I was just broke. I just had an ain't shit job, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out ways to make money while having a job and, you know, starting up a business, which ended up being my photography business. And she's like, well, I mean, look, like, we broke now, but in 2 weeks I get this paycheck, you know, maybe we can figure something out then, you know? So it was those moments, not financial, like take the finances out of it. It was those moments where shit was really bad, where shit was fucked up.
She was there.
And I didn't know what to do, and she was there, you know? That's when I was like, okay, all right. Because any other chick in my past,
on the left, yeah.
Absolutely the fuck not, bro. Like,
Noon cup.
yeah.
What's your take, bro?
No, I mean, I think the common thread out of us is that we chose. It's like we have standards on various things, and we may or may not have entertained.
Shawn was kidnapped.
Funny as hell.
He's taken off the street like a fucking dog. It's like, oh, Wendy stole those cats.
No, Wendy did steal them cats.
Sorry, go ahead.
She gave them cats a home. That's what. But
She rehomed him. His forever home.
But no, I think within that, it's like finding someone.
She got him his shots and got him chipped.
All right, reel it in. But no, I think the common denominator with, it sounds like with all of us is that, it sounds like a lot of us were just kind of doing our own thing prior to, say, relationships, but like when that opportunity came, it obviously had to check some boxes for us to then decide to go on to the next.
And you know, for the boys at home, you know what I mean, listening, everything isn't sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yeah.
We've all had bad days, weeks, months, you know what I mean? And I can admit my faults. I can admit that I fucked up several times, you know what I mean? You know, there have been times where I should have just been fucking single, you know, due to certain decisions and actions that I was making. There were times where I would look at her and be like, damn, she's still with me through all that? You know what I mean? Yeah, it ain't all perfect, but it's the good that outweighs the bad. You know what I mean? Like I said, it took me a solid year to even consider being anybody's fucking boyfriend, let alone her boyfriend, you know, due to certain actions that I was making, but also just like my mindset at the time. You know, I was like 18, I was like 17, 18 years old, you know. And in the beginning of the relationship, it wasn't negative, but it was like I kind of felt forced at the time, you know.
And after feeling like I was forced, I took some time to step back and assess, you know. And then when I felt I was ready is when I decided to like make my decision. I didn't want to do it because she wanted me to do it. I didn't want to do it because her friends literally kept calling me and texting me on the phone, like, how come you won't commit and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? It was, I needed to be right within myself before I came to her with all my shit.
Yo, man, so...
How about mine?
You want to go?
No. Nah. I'm gonna get freaky. Go ahead.
Let Shawn go.
Yeah.
So there was, bro. So you guys say that we all chose, and I think I don't ever feel like there was a point. I knew ever since I was little. I used to always tell myself like I would know I want to get married. Like when I would have that feeling of like, you know, I want to get married, right? And if I was ever in a situation to where like
I've never had that.
if there was ever a point at where I feel like I had regret, then I would get out of it, right? And there was a point where, bro, I want to tell you I was doing my thing, bro. I was doing my thing. I had a point where I forgot I had a girlfriend, bro. I swear on everything. Swear on everything, bro. This is when I was out here at the DMV. So I met
Diabolical.
Yeah, this joint is crazy, bro. So
Dastardly.
this is back when I was on Twitter, man. So
Twitter was a dangerous place.
I had got a I don't know. I was talking to this one girl, and then this is like way before you baby. So I know you gonna watch this. So don't.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even know you exist, baby girl.
basically, I had tweeted like, "Yo, it was like getting cold outside. You know what they be saying? Like it's like cuddling season or whatever when it gets cold and shit."
Big fella season.
And I was like, "Yo,
Them big boys shine.
I need a girl. I need a girl." And I had tweeted it, but I had a girlfriend. I forgot I had a girlfriend. Yo, I felt so slimy. I felt so slimy.
That boy fumbled the bag.
So you tweeted that out.
Towers toppled.
Followed.
No, I didn't. I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't in my right mind. And then she screenshot it, sent it back to me, and then I was like, "Damn, bro." That was another shift though, where I was like, "Yo, what am I doing, bro? Like, I'm tripping, bro. Like, this is not the type of man that I want to be, bro. What the fuck am I doing?"
I bet your phone blew up.
Boy, man.
It was
I bet
crazy, man.
Crazy, bro.
And then shortly after, as Vince was alluding to, you know, I got me a little MILF, you know, and then this shit just changed, man. Now she
That's that nigga wife, bro. That nigga wife. Calm down. That's that nigga wife.
Yo. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. I don't know why I said that, but
No, hey, go on in. So, Mike, I have to put you on the spot because 3 out of the 4 of us on
Oh, it's not happening,
these
bro.
couch. No. let me get the question out. Let me get the question out. So, at any point, do you feel like you would be the one to get married or
Yeah, no, it's not
like
happening.
like never?
Never, no.
you tripping, bro. That's your white boy. Stop playing, man.
No.
Why? Well, why?
I'm gonna kidnap you and bring
It's
you
not tight with the Lord.
to the justice of peace, bro.
Justice of the Peace is funny as hell. I would go to the Justice of the Peace and get a domestic partnership certificate.
She ain't a man, bro. Put a ring on it.
You know, no, not for me. You know,
I think you're saying that now, bro.
no, I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for years. My mama wants some kids. I give a whole bunch of kids. You know what I mean? She considers Wendy a daughter. She already calls her a daughter-in-law every time. Like we go down south and visit my mom. She's like, "Oh, this is my son. This is my daughter-in-law." You know. Yeah, it could never be me, bro. I admire all of you guys. I respect your decisions, and it's not that I don't love her. It's not that I don't care about her. And I don't even want to use the excuse of being hurt, either by her or by other women in my past. I don't believe in. Well, it's my podcast, it's my show. I'm gonna say it. I don't believe in giving any woman any kind of control or power over me, especially in that way. Not saying that marriage specifically gives a woman power, but I don't believe in giving a woman power over me. Not that a woman is lesser than me, not that she ain't shit, you know what I mean? There have been times where I've been so sad that, and so devoted to a woman that I tried multiple times to kill myself. You due to what a woman said to me or what a woman did to me. And that's without the ring. That's without the ceremony. That's without all this extra shit. You know what I mean? There have been over 10 times where I would not, the instances 10 times where I would not be sitting here with you all today. You know, and not to say that women are to blame, but women played a big part. You know, obviously it was me being, you know, weak mentally and not being able to handle that shit. It's not like I'm just putting all of that on them, but I just don't. I've given women power before. I've given that woman power before, and no woman, you know, past, present, or, you know, future, never. I could never. No.
I think you're just not done picking up the pieces, bro.
I mean, I'm probably not healed.
No. You by far. You're one of the most damaged men that I know. I'm just keeping it real, bro. You're like, I love you like a brother. You got a lot of healing to do.
Yeah. Because I ain't gonna lie.
I agree.
You ain't even answered the question.
I said no.
I
said no before you even asked.
He danced around that joint.
I said no before you even asked.
But I asked why. You ain't.
Oh, you said why?
Yeah, that's
I
what I mean.
Why? I said I was hurt, and I'm like, fuck no.
No, you
bro.
said that towards the end, but you did all the
You danced around that.
dancing around it, and I'm like
doing the rain dance.
Rain dance, bro. I've been.
Rain come.
I think.
Well, the why is, you know, I've been hurt many times in this relationship. I've been hurt many times in past relationships. I don't see it. You know, if I've been hurt the way, I'm not going to say it publicly on the podcast, but all three of us know, you know, if I've been hurt that way, without a ring, without like full commitment, my God, what the fuck is going to happen if nah.
So
Absolutely not.
I got a question, bro. So, what's your take on like marriage and stuff? So like, I feel like this is like, it's a symbol.
Clearly all of you believe in marriage.
I didn't until I met my girl. Because I'd seen the ugly side of it so much with my own mom.
Bro, I've seen, man, I've seen the good, I've seen the ugly, man. And like I said, man, like I take the good and I discard the bad, you know, because I can, and I think it's more important to focus more so on the positive than the negative, because I think you're focusing a little bit too much on the things that could go wrong, the things that could go bad, right? Instead of
I'm not holding grudges, you know, but it's just like because I know that person is capable of that, because that person has done that.
But you see how broad of a statement that is. Like, most people are capable of anything,
including change.
Yeah, so it's like, just like how they were capable of doing the wrong, they're also capable of never doing that thing again, and having better behavior from that too. So I kind of agree with Shawn. Like,
because for me, like, you know, 2 years is a long time, but it's not a long time. And like I said, it took me a year to even consider being a boyfriend, you know, and being that this wound opened without, you know, fully addressing it, opened 2 years ago. 2 years isn't enough time for me to see change in character, you know. I will admit that there has been change in character. I will admit that there's been more openness. I will admit that there's been more honesty and more transparency. But 2 years isn't enough time for me to be like, oh.
So what's enough time? What's the magic number?
Cross that bridge when I get there, I guess. I don't really know about like my parents' relationship, like my mom and my stepdad. Whatever happened behind closed doors is, you know, that's none of my business. You know, he treats my mom right. He treats her like a queen. You know, but it took him 20 years to pop the question. My mom didn't get married until I was 21, and she met Willie when she was still pregnant with me. You know, and it took him 20 years to pop the question.
I think that's important that you touch on that too, is because I think that a lot of things that we do stems from our influence and what we saw when we grew up, right?
Yeah.
But again, I never talked to Willie about why it took him so long. I've never asked that because I've never been interested in it. You know what I mean? I knew that my mom always wanted to be married. I knew that my mom wanted to have more kids. But it just came to a point where she was like, well, I'm just waiting on him. You know, whatever he wants to do, I'm fine with doing it, you know. And it came to a point where it was like, hey, like, I'll buy this house. You know, but my mom was like, hey, go ahead and buy the house. But I'm not moving in until I have a ring. You know. And then when he finally popped the question, I was excited. I was like, oh man, this is great. This is awesome. You know what I mean? But I already considered him a stepdad. I already considered him family.
They lived in separate houses for 20 years.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a long time.
I don't know too many women that would stay that long.
Mm-hmm.
Any. Mm-hmm. That's no way.
Yeah. But, you know, to save that, you know, I mean, he's a great guy. He was an amazing father to me. Yeah. He has 2 more children. I've never met them. You know, they're in their 30s. I've never even seen pictures. You know what I mean? But again, you know what I mean. It took them 20 years. Not to say that I would do the same, but I don't. To answer your question, I don't really know how much time is enough time. You know, I feel like I just have to.
That was a rhetorical question, and the reason I was asking that is because it's kind of it's like how like this statement is so profound. Like how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? Mm-hmm. And like just like people with their fitness journey, man. Like people will be like, "Yo, I'm gonna do it on Monday."
Yeah.
Yo, Justin, when you gonna start working out? Yo, I'm gonna do it on Monday, bro. Or I'm gonna do it next year when after this wedding stuff. Like I'm too stressed out right now. Things are just not going right. I'm focusing on all these different things, and scared of the uncomfortability, scared of the unknown, and really too focused on the things that could go bad and the setbacks, as opposed to, I think this is why a lot of people stay in the same place, or they don't move forward, or they keep going back to bad things, is because they're scared of the pressure. They're scared of. They're so scared that things could go wrong, right? Yeah. They're scared of the risk of the investment that is going to be made, and that you'll lose your entire investment, right? You're scared that your feelings will be hurt. You're scared that you'll be disrespected. Whatever the case may be. Does that make sense? Like where I'm trying to get at, man?
Yeah, but it's ironic because like when you go to the gym and you see a big person and they're working on themselves, you respect them.
I respect obese people when they're in the gym.
Like at our gym at Iron, like
it's a couple.
There's some big guys and gals, and everyone's super nice. Yeah. Like we just dab them up. Like, what's up, man? Good to see you.
I hate sedentary obese people.
Well, like you don't even have to join a gym.
Yeah.
You could change your diet, cut out sugar, cut out soda, cut out alcohol, and start going for walks. Exactly. Because like you could just have a clean diet and stay in a caloric deficit, and you don't even have to really work out to lose weight. And then if you really have that much anxiety about joining a gym, you could lose enough weight where you're comfortable, where then you feel like, okay, I'm not so big that I feel like I won't be as judged going to a gym with other people. Or you could just go to the gym really early in the morning or really late at night when nobody's there.
I have 2 clients specifically who are over 300 pounds, and they told me, like, I feel better when I'm with you, like when they're with their coach, myself, because they feel like people don't judge them anymore, and I asked them, I'm like, so like, what brought you here? What brought you to me? Like, what kind of life did you live? You know what I mean? Most of the time it's a sedentary lifestyle. Most of the time it's a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Most of the time it's and mind you, they're in their mid-30s. These guys are like 35, 36. You know what I mean?
A wasted life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, like, you're past your physical prime. Any part, I can still help you, but any part of me that can help you look the way that I look, or the way that Shawn looks, or the way that their ideal, Men's Health magazine model looks, you're beyond that point now. Sorry, chap. But like, I have respect for them because at least they're fucking doing something and they're not just talking about it. You know what I mean? I've been that guy. I've been the fat guy that talked about getting in the gym and didn't get in the fucking gym. You know what I mean? I've been the start on Monday guy. I've been the one to broadcast the shit all for my followers to see and never do anything with it. I've been the guy that, I'll post 2 or 3 workout videos on my Instagram channel, and then you'll never see another workout video again because I'm not working out. And everybody's like, whoa, I thought you were in the gym, bro. What the fuck happened? It's like, literally, Austin told me straight to my face. At the time, I've known Austin for 6 years now. At the time, it was year 2. He was like, bro, I've known you for 2 years, and you keep talking about this fat to fit shit, and you look exactly the same. You should be a completely different person by now. But you're not. So it's like, I hate that. You know what I mean? Like, the way you look. You're not happy with the way you look. Change it. I'm like, the amount of people that sit here and pay like sign up for a year contract at a gym and pay $89, or if you're at Gold's or some bullshit Planet Fitness, $10, and never fucking go is it. I don't understand, bro. I don't get it. You know, I really don't. I can't wrap my mind around it, bro. Every gym I'm going to, I've never paid anything, so I really had no excuse. You know.
I mean, I understand it. I understand why those people do it. I can understand their thought process. Like, for instance, Planet Fitness is so cheap, and then you could just say like, "Oh, I belong to a gym."
Planet Fitness literally throws pizza parties, bro.
Yeah, every first Monday there's free pizza. No, but I honestly respect the business aspect of Planet Fitness because it's so genius.
Yeah.
Because they have probably the most members out of any commercial gym. And because it's so cheap,
and
they never cancel, and they never go, like if they do go, you know, they never really change. But the vast majority of their members never even go, and they just have this membership sitting there, and so the corporate, they just keep raking in money.
Their MRR, their monthly recurring revenue is just stupid.
Yeah, bro.
Stupid.
For a
but
bunch of fat motherfuckers that don't even go.
To chime in on that, man, I think that people have to get to a point to where their mindset, right, and their habits are aligning with what their goals and their aspirations are, because a lot of people have these really big goals, right? Or they have intentions to do good, but they don't have an actual measurable target or anything to actually aim at, and they don't have a proven strategy to get to where they want to get to, and then they don't have that environment or that circle of people that are being hard on them, or, you know, giving them the motivation that works in their way that they receive it, right, to help them take it to that next level. And I think that's super important, and I think it's super dope that we're having this conversation. And I didn't mean to shift the conversation because we really shifted away from the conversation, but I think it's important that we're having this conversation because we're being real with each other, asking each other questions, digging into each other's pain points, and really just trying to help each other, man. And
because honestly, like, a lot of these guys are surrounded by yes men and yes women. Their significant others are special.
I'll hurt your feelings,
bro. If you're fat, bro, I'm calling you fat. You can feel some kind of way. You can be all sad. You can run and tell your wife, "Oh, Mike hurt my feelings." You can feel like you want to fight me. I told you the truth.
I won't tell the truth to someone who I don't see the potential in them actually changing.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in me hurting you for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, if I feel like I can strike a fire in you, that you're actually going to do something. But if I don't see that sparkle in your eye, that there's any hope or potential in someone, then I'm not gonna like give someone free advice or like be real with somebody because like there's no point. Like I've given fitness advice and I've offered, even though I hate having a training partner because I don't have to do the boyfriend girlfriend thing, taking 45 plates off. You know, I don't like that. But like, so many people, I have no idea how many people I've given that opportunity to, and no one has ever taken my advice or come with me to the gym until recently. One of my coworkers, he's overweight and he doesn't want to be overweight anymore, and he has sleep.
He's one of the men I respect, bro.
Yeah, he has sleep apnea. You know, he has to sleep with the mask, and well, because he used to be 300 pounds and now he's like 230, but he quit drinking heavily, and that helped a lot. And I've just been helping him change his diet. Like, I got him to eat clean, and it's flowing over into his wife and daughter.
Love it, man.
And you know, I don't charge him. I don't charge him any money. Like, there's probably like 10 or 15 people out there whose lives I've changed just by laying into them, and then they got into fitness and stuff.
Bro, that's the key right there, bro. Serving and being valuable in this world. Value. Money is a byproduct of you being valuable in this world, right?
Yeah, I know how valuable I am, and I was talking to Mike about this the other day. Like, I don't have any clients at this point, but I don't really see myself, like, I'm trying to get my shit together, and I don't really see myself in a position where I can really be there for people and train up people. But for instance, like my friend, he's losing weight, he looks better. I've already seen around his neck, he's losing fat, and he feels so confident. He feels better about himself. He looks better. He feels better. He's sleeping better. You know, I'm just trying to help him out. And like, for example, I'm a power lifter, but I also love bodybuilding. run circles around certain like low-level personal trainers. I have 12 years of experience. You know, I really know what I'm doing. But he wants to powerlift, so I'm giving him to my coach because that's more responsible for me. Because the only powerlifting information that I know is from my coach, and that's more responsible and more mature because he's not going to pay me anyway. You know, so. But I know because I was telling Mike, like, I have faith in God and I have faith in myself and I know how valuable I am. When my time comes, I won't have a problem because I know how to market myself, I know how to sell myself, I know how to train people, I know how to make programs, because I can just do it like that because I've been doing it for so long. Yeah. And I just do it for my girl, I do it for him, I do it for my friends. Like, I'll just like shit out a program for them and then they'll be like, yo, that fucked me up.
Yeah, and I will say too, I know you said you feel like you're not ready, but I know we've been talking a lot about God and faith, and a lot of times, like, God usually calls people who feel like they're not ready.
Yeah. Like
the people that aren't qualified and don't have all the accolades and whatever. Like, a lot of times God uses those people to be like, hey, if he can do it, anybody can do it. Mm-hmm. So I will, you know, like, as we've been talking, I know you've opened up a lot since like episode 1, and we're on
when I was
16 now. Yeah, like it was tough because you probably couldn't even tell that like first episode he was silent.
Shook. Really?
Sure. No, I hate like, cameras. I hate public speaking. I hate cameras.
Yeah, but it's like
it took me like 15 episodes to figure out how a microphone works.
No, he's not joking.
Yeah, no, it's real fun. But this,
man, I'm just super grateful, man, to see the growth in it, man, and I also want to just give you your flowers, man, and
everybody getting their flowers today.
I love how you said, like, how important is it like, you keep on talking about how you're grounded in your faith, right? And then also understanding like you're focusing on your serving someone first, right? And I think that's where a lot of trainers mess up, is that all they're focused on is just like how to make money, how can I make money, quick, instead of actually, if you figure out how to get your clients results and you figure out how to actually serve them and actually be there for them, and sometimes it might not always be like you can give them the exact strategy to get to where they want to get to, but sometimes they might need an actual fix with the mindset, right? And have a real conversation like this to really help figure out what's kind of going on so that you can actually make that shift and get those changes. And I kind of want to just give some advice to someone that is trying to become a personal trainer, to help people, man. Help people, get some, they're called, this is what we call it, and I'm probably not supposed to be giving this free game out, but it's called a testimonial harvest, and you get like a...
I really like earlier what you said about their why. Because a lot of dudes just want to be able to chase their kid around and not be tired and not have their kid have a fat daddy.
You have to tie it to like their life, because everybody wants to look good, but you want to look good for a reason, bro. Like, you're either gonna make time for your fitness now, or make time for yourself now, or you have to make time for your diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, right, in the future, right? And you look like what you love the most. If you love drinking and you love, eating snacks and stuff, you're gonna look like that. If you love personal development, you love taking care of yourself, you love being a family man, you will look like that. You'll look like the dad that gets to play with their kids.
But I would also say to be honest with yourself. I know guys who are close to 400 pounds. Several guys that are close to 400 pounds. So I go on pescatarian. I eat salads all fucking day. Shut up. Like, be honest with you. Like, nigga,
I can't laugh at
you are the surplus.
Like, come on, son. Like, what we talking about, bro? Like, you ain't get this fucking big because you sitting here eating fucking salad all goddamn day. You ain't get this big because you're not acai bowls and drinking smoothies.
You're not a gorilla or a hippo.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. And then gorillas and hippos are muscle. Like, come on, bro. Like, don't sit here and fucking lie to me, bro. And don't lie to yourself. You know what I mean? I know several dudes close to or above 400 pounds, bro. Young men under 35 that will sit here and be like, oh, I eat fruits and vegetables all fucking. Nigga, like, come on, son. Who are we talking to, bro? Yeah. Be honest with yourself.
Right.
If you're gonna take on the fitness route, be honest with yourself, bro. And don't be afraid of the fucking work. Some fucking discipline might help you out. Yeah. Some fucking discipline can take you a long goddamn way, bro.
And honestly, to tie it all together with the initial topic, just like within fitness, also in relationships, like, you gotta know that that's what you want. Because there's some people where it's like they'll still fuck around in relationships knowing that that's not what they want. and you're just wasting people's time. So it's like in both regards, like when it comes to fitness as well as relationships, to like kind of like bring it all together. It's like know what you want.
Yo, that's another thing that I think that I kind of grew in my relationship too, and it just sparked because you just said that. So another thing that Gabby tells me a lot of times is that it's not what I'm saying, it's how I'm saying it, right? It's
tone and inflection.
Yeah, my tone and my inflection. So like I don't want to say something because
you get irritated.
Yeah, I get irritated or something. I have an attitude and I'm being serious about something and I'm trying to express to her that this is important to me, and I say it with like a serious tone, but it's just like tonality. But that's not where I'm getting at. So basically what I'm getting at is that you can't just have good intentions, right? So I can't be like, babe, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, and then just keep doing it over and over and over again, right? I can't. Good intentions is not enough. But what's gonna actually make the shift and the changes is if I actually start showing action, right? And actually start changing some of those habits and those things that are and then also being aware of like what are the things that are triggering you to wake up in the middle of the night to go get a snack. Why when you get bored you just go to the fridge and just you want to get a fucking
Grinch when he's eating glass. Am I only eating because I'm bored?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, what are the things that are like making you do that, you know? Like what makes you want to just like you have to eat something while you watch YouTube?
Yeah.
Why?
Like yeah, sure, you're hungry.
Your dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
just eat your food.
sure, you're hungry. Do you have to go to Burger King?
Yeah.
Do you have to go to McDonald's? Bro,
Yeah.
fuck McDonald's.
I don't know,
I haven't
Pizza's the Hut.
touched McDonald's in 14 years. That shit's absolutely disgusting.
No one out
If
Pizza's
any,
the Hut.
if any of you niggas eat McDonald's, you're fucking tripping, bro. Like,
I eat McDonald's all the time
Yeah.
in Japan.
bro, McDonald's.
Yo,
They got
hey,
the great-
McDonald's in Japan, yo.
Makudonaruto?
Yo, what part of Japan were you in?
Atsugi.
Atsugi, yo, I played against them. I used to whoop their ass.
I got no dog in that fight. But I got a dog in the Great America Burger.
Great American.
4 patties, 4 slices of cheese, pardon?
Yo, no, but for real though,
And I'd tell him not to take off the bread, and I'd be like, "This is keto."
You a funny ass
I want to
nigga.
give a shout out to the Japanese culture though, bro, because like when you look at the menu in McDonald's, bro,
Oh, it's completely different than America.
And it's
no,
real
no,
meat.
no, I'm not saying that. It
real
literally,
food.
It's
it
real
literally looks exactly
Like
like it
how
looks
I
like on the
pictured
menu,
it.
bro. And then the Japanese janitor is literally the best janitor that you could think of. Like,
And everything.
I didn't know that everyone wasn't hyper successful in Japan, so I thought I was going to be getting a burger from robots. And then I went in, there was just people in there. I was like, "This is crazy."
yeah, bro.
Oh my stars.
There's so many families dishonored in here.
Oh my god.
Bro,
Oh my god.
Japan was like my most favorite place to live, bro. Like,
I can't wait to go back.
I would like want to how do I say it? I can't even think right now.
Damn.
You what?
I want everybody to go there. I want,
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. You want everybody to experience.
Yeah,
I want to live there for the rest of my life.
yeah, it's a good place, bro.
But like my biggest takeaway, at least in the fitness aspect, to circle back, be honest with yourself. Be a fucking man. Be honest. If you're fat, admit that you're fat. Change the fact that you are fat. You know what I mean? There is no fucking reason, bro, to be 400 pounds, bro. That's crazy. That makes no sense.
Sumo aside.
That's crazy, bro. At least sumos get paid to be fat, bro.
And
You just fat and you sitting at home. That's wild as fuck.
And they eat healthy.
They ain't healthy.
Yeah.
They just are in such a surplus that they get big.
Yeah.
But I have a crazy nutrition hack for you guys. Like, let's say this is like a food product, right?
Are you about to tell me to eat this full of food?
You turn it around, and there's words on the back, and if you read those, you might figure out that
might
there's
learn a little
there's
something.
stuff in there that you shouldn't be consuming.
Yeah,
Potato
that's
chips
like-
really ain't it.
Like I'll have a Gatorade Zero, like just make myself feel better, like
Aspartame.
placebo effect, whatever. But like if you look at a real Gatorade, it's like 50 grams of sugar, and a gram isn't like a little sparkle of sand. It's like literally a weighed out gram, like a gram of Coke. Like it's like a gram, a little baggie of fucking sugar, and they just dump it in that little bottle.
I've been seeing these videos on TikTok where a guy will literally take like I don't know, your favorite fucking snack, like a Hostess cupcake or some shit like that.
Oh, and
the nutrition fact will say it's 78% sugar. It's like 67 grams.
He weighs out the sugar in a bag.
He will get a food scale to get like a glass jar, and he will put 68 grams of sugar, and he will compare it to the cupcake. And he's like, bro, this is how much sugar you're putting in your body.
How do they fit that in there?
Bro, man, like, dude, like, and niggas swear to eat healthy.
What were we talking about?
I mean, we're wrapping up anyway. Shawn, thank you for allowing us to be your first official podcast, like where we're interviewing you, talking to you. We appreciate the honor is our honor for allowing us in allowing us in your home, and yeah, man, we appreciate it, man.
Thank you guys for having me, man. It's been a pleasure, man, and I'm looking forward to doing plenty more pods with you guys, man, and continue to grow with you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys blow up, man, and just keep growing and do super big things, man, and just impact this world, bro. So appreciate you guys, and the honor is mine, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you're our first technically our first second-time offender, because you
were on the lost breed.
Hey, yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
I got my crying over here.
It's my allergies. No, when both of y'all niggas was talking about me, bro, I was trying to keep it together, bro. I was trying.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit, these niggas trying to get me, bro. I ain't no bitch,
We're working on his vernacular, bro. We're working on words besides bitch and the other one.
Yeah, the spicy one.
The spicy urban word.
Spicy urban word. When I'm talking about the fellers.
I'm just laughing because when we were in Baltimore last night, and like
this nigga traumatized.
No, like some of the buildings weren't done loading. Like there was fucking like 1996 video game graphics out there, just like NPCs walking in circles.
That's the last time some of those buildings got touched. Like,
Baltimore is a different place.
For a lot of
it's a different place.
I haven't been to those places yet, because when I go, I be going to it'd be nice as I don't know what.
Yeah, in the harbor.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, even the harbor a little.
No, I mean like
I did my first shoot out there. Remember when I was in the store?
DTLR,
I did it out there, and then
they took you to the nice spot.
I was like, yo, Baltimore's nice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was like, where everybody talking about? I don't see no bad stuff.
Go a block down. That whole shit switch up, bro.
Murder more.
The murder more. No, for real. No, for real, bro. That shit got hectic, bro. Even today when I was out there, I was like, I didn't feel safe at all.
When someone gets shot. When someone gets shot in Baltimore, you just see the glowing cash stacks next to them.
All right. That's all.
Hey, Vince, close the show, bro.
Yeah, Vince, you gotta close the show.
Close the show.
Thanks for tuning in to yet another wonderful episode of Forsaken Pride. I'm here with the great and mighty Mike Elston, myself, forgot my name is, Justin Toon, and Shawn Enrique.
Yes, sir.
The mighty.
The mighty.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Not almighty.
That's reserved. That's reserved for the man upstairs.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Out.
Quack.